you've got some serious players in these teams. I mean, you look at the likes of JUGA, you've got Exocet, Jack Mack, Neokara, Newt, who's going to, I would guess, be in the sniping role. Rocco, who would probably fill the light assault role, and you've got Cersei in there, who's just going to be running hacks and killing everybody. Really
And then we
scary
get the
team
big
from
Iron
those
Ranger
guys.
to commentate with us. I'm sure
Absolutely.
he'd tell us exactly what he thought. Apparently we can see your taskbar on stream as well, Adam. So you might just want to
Oh, okay, thank you for
fix
that.
that.
Unusual, just
In-
not coming up on my end.
Interested to see how the Dire guys perform. I haven't played against those guys, and a couple of them returning, probably Black Bullet in particular returning from a pretty long hiatus specifically for this format. So it'd be good to see how he performs, thrown into the deep end. I mean, it's all good to perform on live and get back to how you play on live, but coming into this situation completely different and far removed from anything else that he would have seen. So I think for me, he's probably the bookend for the Dire guys. If he can put up a good performance, I think they're in a good position to knock over these guys.
Definitely.
Yeah, I had an interesting. We had a little practice match the other day with Soka versus Dire. Definitely people to keep an eye on. Motherlands, definitely as a sniper. He was the first round that Soka played. Didn't have Motherlands in it, and then they subbed him in for the second round, and it definitely made a difference having him in a high sort of position to snipe. That was obviously Pale Canyon, so they have a lot more open area for sniping. Gun is going to be an interesting and different situation, seeing as you don't have as many of those long range sort of areas to fire, no open sort of ground fire into, and so whether or not he'll be an infiltrator again is an interesting question. Helix as well was a quite terrible thing to come up against. I heard from the Soga guys, so another one to keep an eye on.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Worth noting as well that Dire, I believe, are the only team in Briggs Farmers League who actually have two people who can, sort of fill that CQC infill for them. They've got both Motherlands and Daitoku, both probably, I would say, definitely in my opinion, two of the best CQC infills on the server on live.
Oh, definitely, I'd
And
agree with that.
definitely seen them. I've definitely seen them do quite a bit of work in games that they've done that I've watched. So it'll be interesting to see how Motherlands goes today against Newt. I know Newt is also a very, very good CQC sniper.
Be interesting to see also who Dyer fields in, if anyone, in the light assault role. Not too many guys in that name that I can recall seeing regularly on live as light assault. So, who would your pick be from that list, Kilos, to put in the light assault?
I'd say Helix definitely is probably one of the guys that when I've been playing light assault myself, I've come up across more often than not. He's actually a very solid light assault. So coming up against who, as you said before, Rocco, who's likely going to be the light assault for Jugga tonight. It'll be interesting to see sort of how the dynamic between the two goes, because they are both generally solid players as well as very solid light assault players as well. So we'll see how they do.
Yeah, Helix definitely I've seen as a light assault a few times, and haven't seen him for very long because I'm pretty well looking at the death screen a few seconds later. The general
Also
consensus here is I'm a sucky person at this game. I just know
warning.
how it works.
Also worth noting, Jugga have arguably one of the best heavies on the server in their team, especially tonight, Exocet.
Yeah.
He, in the practice that we did against them last night, he was absolutely doing work, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes against Dyer tonight.
Yeah, spoiled with Exocet, Cersei, Gakmak, and likely Neo up front. For those guys, they've got a very, very solid front line. If you can get through that, it's not going to be long for this world, because you're going to be running into Newt and probably Rocco behind that, two exceptional players by themselves. There's no weak point that you can pick at, unfortunately, in that JUGA roster. So putting up the A team for this one.
I'd like to think JUGA's general tactic would be to just send Exocet in, and all the other guys will stand at the Sundra and wait for him to mow down the team. Then I'll just come in and cap the point.
Wait for him to turn his aimbot on, and then just left click.
Clean house. Dire starting on the north Sundra though, so it'll be interesting to see if they make the same mistake that RSNC did in rushing into the point. You can get a little bit jumpy, especially being the first round for these guys. Been sitting watching the first round, I'm sure, so they'll see the mistakes that were made. It'll be interesting to see if they do the same thing or if they a little bit more patient in the way they push in.
Not long now until start.
Yep, we've got about 1 minute left. I think Dire tonight definitely have quite a solid roster as well. I mean, as you said earlier, Spadge, Black Bullet is probably one of the most solid heavies on NC on Briggs. Definitely, I'd say, arguably the best heavy in Dire. So it'll be interesting to see, sort of, even after his hiatus and, you know, coming back to live recently and getting a little bit of practice in there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, round start.
How he goes.
Max pull immediately from the Die guys. That's interesting. Captain Thirsty in a max suit. Scat Max.
Looks like JUGA just starting off with the classic 5 heavies, and I'd assume... Oh no, infill. They've got Rocco with the light assault getting up on the roof straight away.
Die here already putting heavy up on the roof, and Max going up on the roof. That's an interesting tactic. We've got Rocco there as predicted, up on the roof there.
Matt's just really trying to get that wall jump down. Unfortunately, wall jumping is one of the more difficult aspects of the game, and if you can get it down, it can be very powerful.
Oh, he's up!
Gets up
and wreck and face. Yeah, run, Rocco.
Oh, he still wants to play with him a bit. He's going for it.
Oh, Rocco taking a bit of shield damage there.
Rocco confirmed for Gigantic Man.
It's like crazy.
Interesting tactic from Dire there, going straight for the, like, instead of pushing the server room, going straight for the roof. And looks like Max is flanked, pushing in from the rear. What an interesting tactic there. And going down. But the guys have pushed into the server room at the same time. That coordinated push has definitely made the difference there.
Absolutely, that timing on that push was excellent. Even though Thirsty did go down and didn't really get sort of the cost-effective use out of his max, he definitely provided a good distraction and let the Dire guys push in on that point.
Really would have liked to seen him jump on the canopy first. He took probably at least half of his health from full. He lost half his health when he jumped off that roof. If he had a bounce on the canopy, he would have come in with a lot more health and probably survived at least one more rocket hit, which put him down in the end. Maybe he would have got him to redeploy, so probably cost him 3 points, that one little mistake falling off the roof.
Absolutely. Dire doing a really good job of just sort of holding the angles down on the point and hiding behind the consoles, just holding that point really quite well.
Yeah, not really putting themselves out there too much. Just, and there we go. They are going for the push now. One guy down for the TR. 2 NC down, and we've got 1 TR on the short stairs there.
JUGA not really focusing on the point that much.
You're losing your packets again. TR have recaptured the A point.
But they've got it quite down at the moment. Just see a cycle only to go down to the doorway. Not too sure who that was. Traded. Interesting that a lot of the both of the NCT today have been running anchors with EM6s rather than Cyclones. I think at this base you definitely want to be running the Cyclone with an extended mag. Just gives you a little bit more punching power when you get up close and friendly with someone.
Definitely, the Cyclone is, you know, definitely the best SMG in the game, probably one of the best carbines in the game, and arguably one of the best LMGs in the game. It's an absolute monster of a gun, and not really seeing that much use out of it. Looks like Thirsty's getting a bit of use out of his Cyclone tonight, but yeah, as you said, not really seeing it being used that much by the MC teams tonight.
Now have moved back into those defensive sort of positions, taking up the server room and covering all of the angles.
Good pick there.
Sneed in the server room there, just trying to take out people with the rocket launcher.
Looks like Cersei got tagged up by Motherlands. He's really just trying to get those picks and get that one last good push that Dire needs before that point flips to Jugga.
Pretty textbook stuff on this long stairs from Jugga. They got Cersei up there as well as Newt, the infiltrator. Just holding that, lobbing in a few grenades. Oh, Cersei does go down though. Oh, that opens it up.
Nice little 2v1 there from Dire, taking out one of the TR guys on the short stairs. Push down and are actually on the A point now. We've got practice 1 there. Don't know which one that is.
I've got 2,000 pings, so it's a bit difficult to sort of get a real grasp of what's going on.
Neokoro picked off on the point.
And the
Exo
practice
said
again
can
goes
take
down.
someone down.
Got Cersei down back on the point with Exocet as well. Cersei there on these short stairs. Being taken out
Going down to
by Exocet.
Nice night from Motherlands. That really just put that in was that practice 1s? Oh no, Schneeb's, sorry. That definitely put that sort of 2v1 in Schneeb's favour, getting that good little snipe.
Short stairs are a bit of a rubbish place to get any kind of good camera angle on. Not really anywhere you can sit that you're not going to be looking somewhere and be in the way.
Good fight there from the Dire boys. Managed to push everyone and Jugga off the point, kill them all.
Jack Mac doing a good job of just sort of intermittently holding those long stairs, not really moving out of position too much. Could probably be off helping the rest of the Jugga guys push the actual point. But really just trying to get those 1 or 2 picks that he needs to.
We got Thirsty and Practice 1 a bit grouped up here. That seems spread out a little bit, and they do.
Once again, going back to those angles that I was sort of talking about in the last match, just holding that point, doing a good job of it.
Doing a good job with the rockets too. Just, you don't need to kill people with the rockets. Preferably you don't, because it's obviously worth no points. You just want to splash them, let them know that you're there, and stop them from pushing in, because no one with half shields is going to push you into a situation.
Taking the scoring away from them turns them into more of a suppressive tool. If you see a rocket get shot at you, you know that someone is there and it's got an angle on you.
Exactly. Treat it like a lasher.
Yep. I wouldn't know anything about the lasher. What is this lasher you speak of? Is this some kind of pew pew laser? And the Jugga pushing onto the point.
Most useless pew pew laser in the game.
Pretty close match though, really, all things said. Got a few standouts on the Dire side, and then the Jugga guys are pretty evenly spread with Newt again, as we were saying earlier, just in that infill role. More about denial of vision for the enemy rather than actually killing.
And well, again, the point capture is going to make the difference. The scores are very, very close now. 65 to Jugga, 63 to Dire with 7 minutes remaining. So really that point capture is going to throw one of them into the advantage that someone else is going to have to catch up with.
Absolutely, and I mean, even though it's only sort of 12 or 13 kills between getting that point capture or not, it is definitely just a little bit of breathing room for whichever team gets it, which at this stage is looking like it may be Jugga.
So yeah, the scores have actually jumped a fair bit. Jugga's now 10 points in the lead, 77 to 67. So wiping out RSNC there, yeah, made a lot of difference.
45 seconds until the point flips to JUGA. That'll be a little bit more breathing room for them. Not really having to worry about as much about winning those 1v1s, just sort of holding on to the point.
And both teams doing the right thing. You've got Dire waiting off in the server room, making sure that they're grouped before they go in, and then JUGA answering that by putting a bit more pressure on the stairs, peeking into the server room, tagging them up. They got one pick, so they've already made them forced into a position where they've got one push and that's it.
Absolutely, and
Do get a pick.
got one pick. There's still two waiting for them on long stairs though. 10 seconds until point flips.
I think they're just going to give this one up.
And sometimes it definitely is smarter to give that point cap to the other team, rather than sort of just rushing in willy-nilly and
losing the points
And,
to having everyone wiped out again, sort of thing. Yeah.
absolutely, because you're just giving away more points. JUGA taking the base cap there. Dire actually getting two heavies up on the roof there, trying to wall jump and I believe deal with Rocco with a light assault, still just trying to harass them as best he can.
Still popping out like a meerkat and taking them out one at a time.
5 minutes remain.
Rocco on the roof.
Rocco on the roof, yeah.
Taking
Picks
out
off
two
two.
heavies now. It's worth noting as well, once you do finish that wall jump, you are virtually immobilized. He did go down though. So Dire clear to finish that wall jump. Probably don't want to be doing anything with it as yet. Want to wait for the rest of the team, sort of group everyone up and really make a concerted push into the room.
And we got Rocco coming up and he's going to meet with Schneebs, who is on the roof. It's going to be a bit of heavy on light assault. And
So
Rocco
just
chases
running
him off.
away, shooting
another.
medkits.
Ooh, this is
3 on the roof for Dire.
a lot of guys going after
Rocco.
that one light assault.
Oh, they get him.
1-to-1 trade with Rocco. That was well done,
Trade
Bucky.
there from the distance.
Pick off Newt on top of the canopy, so they're all not caring about the point at all. Just worried about the
Aye.
wall jumps.
Practice one, thinking about pushing there, but falling back. JUGA once again doing a good job of just holding those angles and making sure that Dire really can't get a proper push in.
Good pick on Rocco there again. Not too sure who that was. I think it might have been Schneebs. No, Black Bullet.
Barely anyone actually on the point in here. We've got one on the short stairs and one on A. We've got two on the short stairs there. Really only half of JUGA actually in the building. Because half of Dire are up on the roof trying to deal with that light assault, it doesn't really give them a lot of options for pushing in either.
No.
So
Looks like Rocco
they-
took out the Black Bullet. I believe there is still one heavy up on the roof. Oh no, he must have gone down
No,
and then
jump down.
tried to push in.
So Rocco retakes his territory.
Rocco's sort of struggling to deal with that light assault at the moment. Getting those heavies up there, it can be beneficial, but you know, you're really just in a light assault domain, and he can, as I mentioned in the other match, control his engagements just that little bit better than the heavies themselves can, especially after coming up from a wall jump. Neutron with a guy in a heavy just there.
Exactly, and I mean, Rocco in that life managed to go 2 for 1 against 2 heavies, so he's completely made himself worthwhile. Stopped those 2 guys getting in on the point, maintained control for his team, and has just done his job perfectly.
Absolutely, and JUGA really just holding on to that point very, very well, just camping those angles, really taking advantage of that Southern Sunderer position and not having to worry about sort of pushing in now that they've got the base cap and just waiting for Dire to come to them really. Looks like we've got Schneebs pushing in the back, takes out one, unfortunately goes down himself.
Taken out by
by
Exocet.
Exocet. Rocco up on that roof again. Really just
Takes out the infill.
denying Dire that sort of angle near the wall jump, and that makes it very difficult for them to actually be able to get up there and deal with them properly.
Exocet's down.
Fortunately going down to Schneebs there.
I think getting a bit sloppy here from the Dire boys. They were definitely in it. I think losing the point might have just rustled the jimmies a bit too much. It's not a big deal really when you think about it. It's only 2 wipes and you basically recovered all of the points.
Call, 1 minute remaining.
So a safer bet
1
would have
minute.
definitely just been to just back off a bit. They're going too aggressive. Trading,
Absolutely, and
trading
being so close to the match actually ending, you know, really just got to go for those kills. You know, you can't cap the base in time, so
No.
it is really important to go for those kills. Guy did make a good push onto the point in the sort of last minute of the round, though. That was a good push by them. Unfortunately, coming a little bit too late. So they're really starting to make that push back in the point room. Nice snipe by Motherlands.
Good trade there. Managed to take out one JUGA guy.
Dire had
believe
the
we're close to
Northern
finishing.
Sundra, yes, 5
5
seconds left.
4, 3, 2, 1. Round end.
Oh, there we go, round end. 154 to... I've got the wrong names there, sorry about that. 154 to JUGA and 113 to Dire. Hold on, I'll fix that.
So, for the most part, a very solid half from both teams. I think just sort of the thing to take away once again is not get too fixated on that point and try and give away to the other team too many points, which I think Dire sort of got caught in to some degree, especially towards the end.
They did. They were taking really poor angles, just going too much into a predictable situation where they were just continually jumping up on the roof. They knew it was coming. JUGA knew it was coming, and it was just never going to work. They had someone like Rocco up there who's going to take your head off at 60 meters, and he's 4 feet away from them, and just put them down, man after man. So that continual focus on that was a big mistake from mine, and that is probably where the difference in the points came. They had 2 guys at least always attempting that jump, which means they had 4 versus 5 trying to head in on the point. They're never going to win those trades. It just was silly play and probably letting the wheels fall off a little bit. They could have walked out of here with a 25-point deficit just for losing the point. Been now on this round on the favourable side to push in and do what JUGA did to them. Now they've probably got a little bit more of a hole to dig themselves out of, but definitely not too big.
No, that's it. With only 40 odd points difference in it, it's reasonably close, and that's like if Dire caps the point, that pretty much brings them back in favour, and it's all down to kills. Interesting to note, Rocco there actually had the highest sort of score difference there. He even kills with Exocet with 15 kills apiece for the both of them, and same to Balak Bullet on the Dire side with 15 kills as well. But because he, I don't know why, but for some reason he died. I don't know, he died more, but somehow his net score came out different.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah, I don't know what to go with here.
Frag kills would.
Oh, right, yes, that would make a difference, wouldn't it?
So, for me, Dire as well probably performed as you would expect him to. Black Bullet showed up really big for those guys there. He topped net score in the entire game for both teams. So if he gets a little bit of support from guys like Thirsty and Helix and Schneebs, and they stop focusing, well now they can't focus on the wall jump because it's not on that side of the map, so that's probably a good win for them by passive. But they just need to have a bit of faith in the fact that they can outshoot these guys, because they were. When it was 6 versus 6, it was anyone's firefight to win. So if they keep just playing the game how it's supposed to be played, don't worry about cheesy stuff, just outshoot them, get the point, get the cap, and then consolidate from there.
Absolutely. I think it'll be interesting to see as well JUGA. I know in the practice that we had with them last night, they were using that wall jump to great effect, you know, definitely more than one situation. So it'll be interesting to see how much they focus on the actual wall jump itself, and, you know, who really focuses on it and what they can do with it, sort of thing.
Yeah, well, so I'm wondering that because I mean they've already got Rocco as a light assault. Like they really don't need to worry too much if he goes into that same sort of role. Dire are obviously going to have to sort of attack him with another light assault from the end that they're coming from to sort of deal with him. So I don't see whether or not JUGA will actually have to wall jump onto the roof. They might use it as a flanking tactic with a heavy, possibly to attack Dire from the rear as they're attacking the A point, similar to how Dire did at the beginning of this round.
Yeah, I see no advantage there, but you've got Rocco playing extremely well. He went 15 for 15, had a 0 net score, but when you're playing purely against heavies, which he was, he did exceptionally well. You should really expect that score to be -6 to -10, but coming out with a 0 is a big win for them and neutralising a few of their big threats constantly when they were either trying to get on the roof or just looking down and picking him off before they even knew he was there.
Absolutely, doing a really good job of just harassing the other team. And you can see as well with Dire not having that light assault to sort of sit there and counter him and just make Rocco's job significantly harder. It's a lot easier for Rocco to get those good picks as, you know, people are trying to wall jump up and all that sort of thing.
We'll obviously see if Dire decides to go with the max again.
4, 3, 2,
It'll be interesting.
1, match start.
No max. Disappoint.
Looks like JUGA starting off with same composition as last time, I believe. 3 heavies, 4 heavies, and a light assault.
Got 5 heavies and an infiltrator coming out from the Dire guys, so going a little bit heavier towards the point.
Rocco back on the roof again, and they did not go for the wall jump, pushing straight for the point. Pushing very quickly in, couldn't even keep up with them with the camera.
Rocco coming behind.
Straight in, straight for those short stairs before I could ever be ready for it.
Taking out the builder, really just trying to get a flank in. Flanking Motherlands, taking him out, nice job.
Practice 1 did exactly what the team should do in that situation. Just completely outplayed. They got pushed off the point when they probably shouldn't have been from the side they were at. Moved up the long stair, came down the short stairs, took out 2 guys, and whoever that is, Practice 1, he got that point cap for his team then.
Definitely made the difference there on what was going to happen with that A point.
I think JUGA just focusing a little bit too much on the point at the moment, especially given that, you know, as I've said before, the first 2 minutes of the base capture don't particularly matter. You're really just trying to neutralise that down. Dire getting nice and set up, beginning to camp those angles just as JUGA was in the last half.
Unless I'm wrong, that Practice 1 is Helix, so we can start probably calling it Helix now. Because I haven't seen a Helix tag on any of these guys, so...
apparently Helix is here according to the scoreboard. I'm not sure.
No, he'll be linked to that character.
Yeah.
Ah, righto. JUGA making a decent push in from server room there, going down short stairs. Forcing a 2v1, getting down on the point.
Using the correct tactics there, following Exocet in as he kills everyone.
And a good change from the Dire guys for mine. They've switched out to Cyclones, from what I can see, almost completely. So a much better pick for this size situation. They should be a lot more deadly in a close quarters situation, which is every fight on this base, basically.
Absolutely. Especially on short stairs, you know, in the practice that we did against FCLM, that Cyclone, I found myself, you know, using the advantage of that 0.75 along with the 167, just absolutely dominating in a situation like this. So we're getting a couple of nades going off. Starting to push in.
Good pick there by Thirsty. It's an unsuspecting angle, standing up the top and in the corner on top of the short stairs. Really good job.
JUGA just sort of struggling at the moment to really get into the point room. They're doing a little bit of what Soka did in the first match, just kind of getting stuck in that server room and not really being able to push in. Dire doing a good job of forcing them into the server room.
Dire creeping a little bit too close to those doorways though, which is definitely not a good thing. You do not want to get too close to those doors when there's a lot of Jugger in this server room, because you get taken out and then it's another point to them and then a big chunk of difference to the tactics of the team, basically.
Absolutely. Nice comp from Dyer there, comping both, I believe, Exo and Cersei. 1 minute until Dyer caps the base, doing a really solid job of just...
And closing the
holding that
gap
point.
all the while.
Yeah.
Down to 23 points behind now. A really good show. They've picked up 16 points already in 4 minutes.
Assuming Dyer doesn't kill too many people before the cap, they will put them in the lead, only just.
And even the little things they're doing well. The man watching from long stare, who was Black Bull at that entire engagement, did just go down, but he was using the EM6, so the guy with the long range weapon has got the long range angle, so everyone else with the Cyclones watching short, and doing quite well of it. They have just lost a point.
Felix there getting taken out by Nicora. No, Cersei.
Unfortunately being flanked by Cersei.
Oh.
Nice
Pistol
bit of a
fight.
Pistol off there on the A
Oh.
point.
And with 23 seconds left, Jugga get the...
Jugger
kill.
Exocet
Nice
on
job
the
by them.
point.
And a good dildo up front's going to let them know when the Dire Boys are pushing back in, so they're set up pretty well already.
Absolutely, and Nunu's really taking advantage of those short stairs. It's very difficult to get, a kill on someone who's hiding at short stairs. Even splashing them with a rocket can be, significantly more difficult than you would otherwise think. So I'm really starting to push hard on that point now.
A very big push for that A point. They do definitely want to get that back, and they need to get into those defensive positions quickly. Oh, one
Nice trade.
nice
Still
trade there
one
on the
Jugga
top
guy
of the
left
stairs.
on
Yeah.
short stairs.
Jack Mac there, taking out
Fortunately,
another
Jack taking out
NC.
Helix.
That manages to
30
get the
seconds.
wipe for the Jugger guys.
We've
So
got
well
one
done.
guy there.
Jack Mac, the only one. Oh, and it looks like we got an
Oh.
invisible heavy.
And that must be Helix there with practice one.
Mhm. Cyclone too strong, 20 seconds. They are probably going to secure this cap. We could see a lead change.
Black Bullet and a few others here now. Jugger back on that server room.
One of them pushing short stairs.
Oh, that wipe's actually bumped Jugger up a bit more in the scores. They're now 198 to 169. So the point capture, I don't think will click them over. No, but very close.
Dyer
200 to
getting the
196 now to Dyer. A few more kills to Dyer
Jugger
and holding
heavies.
off, and they're back in the lead.
3 Jugga heavies have pushed in, but they're not really pushing at the moment. One of them just got EMP'd, Cersei just got EMP'd. Sort of taking their time, grouping up together.
Terrible spot to be. They really took too long on that push. They got EMP'd, they got conked, they got found out. They knew they were there, and Dire were ready for them to push in. They should clean this up. Oh, nice
Ooh,
snipe.
nice snipe. Beautiful snipe.
Really tight angle there.
Newt being the only Jugger man left alive, just sort of in and out of the server room. Not really sure what he's doing. Dyer doing a really good job of just holding those angles and really holding Jugger in that server room. Rocco unfortunately getting taken out by Helix.
They have now
He
taken
tried
the
to flank.
score lead as well with almost 8 minutes to go. A little bit under 8. Oh, no, just even out with Jugger.
Helix
208,
went down.
208.
Trade of rockets there, Exocet, Cersei and Captain Thirsty.
Really close game, and that's what you'd expect from these two guys. These two teams. Really competitive teams and really stacked rosters.
Absolutely, I think
definitely.
both have definitely brought their A games for tonight, which is great to see.
But now even the dynamic from Jugger's point of view, do you worry about just outshooting them and winning that way, or do you go for the point, knowing that you're risking wiping and handing the lead over to Dyer? It's going to be a very fine line to walk because they're in the poor part, they're in the server room, they're on that side, they should be winning the trades and they aren't. They're trading 1 for 1 there, it's or 2 for 1. So it's not going well for them. I think they need to push for this point. I think they need to make their focus a point, however they need to do it.
Absolutely, and Exocet actually got a pick on Motherlands just on the outside lane just before, but thanks to the dildo that he'd put down just a little bit before, one of the Dire guys was able to come out and mutual with Exoset, stopping that, that potential very damaging flank.
Oh, good rocket primary there on Jack Mac, I believe. No, it wasn't Jack Mac,
No,
sorry.
Jack Mac's here in the server room. I'm just watching him. Waiting for the rest of the JUGA team to show up.
Don't offer any points. They are very good at just taking someone out. Dire doing a very good job of pushing out the JUGA guys attempting to push in the outer lane.
But all 1-for-1s at this point. 1-for-1s at best, that's if they do get a kill. Cersei just having a bit of a shoot off there, neither man going down. But you can see Neokara, Cersei stuck in this server room, not really doing much. Trading 1-for-1, and that's not going to get them the points they need.
Absolutely. JUGA really just sort of struggling to find a way into the point room. Dire doing a really good job of just holding the entire room, really denying JUGA of any sort of access point into the point room.
And it's going to get to the point where, while they're not extending their lead, they're holding the point completely. JUGA's going to be denied the cap. They're going to be down 8-10 points. And the Dire can just go in defensive mode. Once that point physically cannot cap, Dire can just leave the room, play defensively, play smart, and take trades that benefit them.
Right at the spawn Sundra spawn room. Oh, we've got the points now.
Sunday.
Yep. We're gonna sit into Sundra and wait till it's over.
JUGA doing a good job of pushing in the back there. They actually took out Rocco, and I believe it was Exo, taking out Helix.
Getting thwarted though, they've just traded 2-for-1 on the top. 2 for none, sorry. And now third man goes down, so 6-point swing to the Dire guys again. They're doing really, really well.
Absolutely, and it's great to see Dire really taking advantage of that sort of change in Sundra positions and the advantage that you get from that southern Sundra. You know, being able to camp the angles a little bit better than the northern one, and not having to get stuck in that server room as JUGA is.
Yeah.
Or has been for
Yeah,
the past couple minutes.
at this point, JUGA really needs to hold back for 10 seconds and just root back up again.
They've got a 6 versus 3. Rocco's pushing in. He should go down. No, he doesn't. They've just pretty much wiped the JUGA boys except for their
4
sniper.
minutes remaining.
With 4 minutes
Sorry,
left, I believe if they're not going to quite get the base cap.
No,
only
unfortunately
4 minutes
not.
left.
Yeah, doesn't start triggering
at the
until after
moment-
they cap it.
All JUGA really needs to focus on doing is just getting those wipes on Dire as they try and push back into the point room.
Exactly. With just before the cap, they pushed closer within 8 points. So now they need to do what Dire just did to them: take advantage of the height, get good picks. Hopefully, Dire is aware of the fact that they can't cap the point and they don't get too aggressive. And they just did.
Yep. Did exactly the opposite of what you
So-
wanted them not to.
Yep. Still holding
Very
on to the
cool play
lead, but
there.
only by 2 points.
Looks like Rocco dancing around with one of the Dire heavies just there. In and out of the doorway.
Clearly hacking.
Oh, definitely.
Movement
Got some
meta.
of Cersei stuff.
JUGA.exe.
Well, we've closed up again. Really close game.
Absolutely. Both sides playing extremely well, and I would expect no different. You know, this is really the A team from both of what are arguably the top teams in Briggs Farmers at the moment.
Easily a
Doing
match that you
really
could see as the final of the season. Easily. These
Oh,
two are
definitely.
very, very highly hyped and very highly skilled teams. And hyped for a reason.
Absolutely. Both doing an excellent job. Rocco doing a good job of just harassing Dire there, you know, trying to get them to look up for him and take the focus off the rest of his teammates.
Dire being smart though, staying outside. I think they know at this point that they've got the lead. Well, they may think they have the lead. I don't know if they know exactly how close it is, but doing the right thing. Not pushing in, not worrying about the point because they know it can't cap.
Rocco getting a nice pick on Motherlands there, I believe it was. Or it might have been
Yeah.
Helix, I'm not sure.
Really threw off the push from Dire, losing that
Yep.
man at the start.
Yeah, and infill goes down as well.
Good trade with the pistol, whoever that was.
believe that's Thirsty coming in through Sir, was it?
Gets a 2 for 1.
That's a good trade.
Picks off Newton and a heavy.
There's only one heavy up there.
Max coming.
Camping long.
Max from the Die Guys. Helix is in a Max.
Oh, interesting decision there. Have a chance to push the scores up a little bit in their favour, but if they lose that Max, that could make the difference. You really need that extra support with the Max.
He's really got to be careful here. Two of the JUGA guys have got their rockets out, but Practice 1 taking out both of them, almost. Cersei just barely getting that TMG kill.
So I guess whoever Practice 1 is, we've been calling Helix completely incorrectly, but Helix redeploys out of the Max, denies them the 5 points. Probably a very smart thing to do. I think that they probably, it was close enough that they thought they might have had to recap that point, so a smart play to be safe, but
to recapture the
knowing
point,
the exact match time,
not even really captured it, they've just neutralised it enough to hold back JUGA. Now it's really just down to the scores, with them both flicking backwards and forwards. 272, 271 in JUGA's favour. One kill to Dire and that'll make the difference. 30 seconds left.
Wow, really close.
Very, very close
Rocco
match.
getting a bit sandwiched there. Getting taken out by Practice 1, but then we get a trade up the top with
7-4, 273.
Oh,
2-7. Oh,
this is
jeez,
so
this
close.
is going to be very close. 278 to 277. 8 seconds left.
Jesus.
JUGA's got the point. This is going to be it.
Oh, 1 for
4, 3, 2, 1.
And that's the round. JUGA with 280 to Dire's 279.
Unbelievable.
What a match. What a score.
Absolute best match I think I've seen or played in so far. I don't know about you, Spadge, but that was definitely the best match I've ever seen.
Match.
And honestly, I would expect no different from JUGA and Dire. That, you know, two incredible teams and really showing the way that they played tonight. Excellent work from both teams.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get closer than that. That's
No.
a kill. That's an explosive
1 point
kill.
difference. That on a practice match. Jeez. Definitely going to be two of the teams to watch when it actually comes to the actual Farmers League matches.
Absolutely.
And we see the spread in the ways that the team, I mean, Scribbles has turned around from what I think was either a 0 or a -4, gone up to a 12, so a 16-point swing for him on the Dire team. Done really well. I think Black Bullet falling by 6 points, but still maintaining a good score. Thirsty stepping up. Motherland's maintaining, and Schneebs and Helix probably holding the same. They did really well. Just fell short. Feel terrible for the Die guys, but they played exceptionally well in that second round. Clawed back a huge lead.
Absolutely, really taking advantage of that advantage that the Southern Sunderer gives them, and you can see that with the way that they played. The way they held that point was amazing, and it really took a very concerted effort from JUGA. You know, getting all 6 of them in and taking all of them out to push them off. So excellent work from both JUGA and Dire tonight.
Well,
and Exocet obviously coming up big, as we'd expect. Like we said, probably one of the best heavy players on the server. 32 kills, huge amount of kills in this format.
Very interesting seeing just the kills from both sort of teams there, much higher than the first match. Definitely a much higher skilled sort of players here. A lot more kills and deaths were sort of taken through that entire round, basically.
Absolutely, and I think it shows as well in the not so much less focus on the point, but you could sort of see that once it got to a certain point, both JUGA and Dire just went, yeah, okay, we don't want to worry about the point anymore. We just want to get as many kills as we possibly can, and especially towards, you know, the last sort of 10 seconds, that was probably the quickest sort of swapping between the two teams I think I've ever seen.
And the real problem at that point, being a player on the field, is you have no idea what the score is. You can see, okay, yeah, we've secured the point, we're doing well. If you have a bit of a chat, or how have you guys been doing? Yeah, pretty good. But you have no idea that it's that close. You have no idea whether you have to rush in, or if you rush in, you might throw away the lead that you have. You just don't know. You've just got to play it by ear, and that's what they did. And unfortunately for the Dire guys, just getting pipped.
I think though they can take solace in the fact that they really took advantage of the advantage that they had with that Southern Thunder in the second round. Did an excellent job of pushing JUGA out and just really holding him in that server room for as long as they did as well. Two teams of this caliber holding one team like that is not an easy thing to do. So very, very well done to Dire. Unfortunately, as you said, being sort of gypped out of that win tonight, but it is only a practice, and I really cannot wait to see these two teams play in